Hey bro, my dad used to beat me whenever I did something wrong when I was a kid. Whenever I would lie about not having done my homework or whatever, he would bend me over and just beat me with a belt or something. And then in a few years, he moved overseas to work. And I pretty much only saw him for a few weeks a year from then on. So I was just left with this horribly negative impression of him, seemingly in both my conscious and subconscious. Whenever he would return to visit me, he would be friendly with me lah. But I had this weird sense of being extremely uncomfortable around him. My mood and my productivity will literally decrease, and I was not visibly smiling as much when he visited me or doing as much work as I was, and I just couldn't get myself to like him as a person. It was not just my dad. During my secondary school period from 2020 to 2023, I was constantly arguing with my mom. She would angry and start shouting over the smallest things, and I would be mad over her getting angry over that small thing. For example, maybe I forgot to hang the clothes or something, and then we would just start arguing. And I'm not saying that I didn't love my parents, of course I did, but there was this weird feeling I would get whenever I saw them. My heart would start beating faster. I would start getting a little nervous, like I was in some sort of danger. There was this neural circuit in my brain that was firing and telling me to be careful whenever I saw my parents. There was this one time, not too long ago actually, it was January I think, where I was supposed to select the school that I wanted to go to. So basically, if you don't know, in Singapore at the end of secondary school, there's this national exam called the O-levels, and the score you get determines which post-secondary school you can go to. And I mean, yes, there's a lot of asterisks, a lot of exceptions, but more or less that's how it works. So I got a really good score, which meant I could more or less go to pretty much any school I wanted. So each person will get 12 choices of schools, and you would choose the 12 schools and rank them from first to 12, depending on which schools you preferred. That's how the selection worked. So I was choosing my schools. I decided to rank them according to how much I actually wanted to join the schools rather than ranking them according to how academically strong those schools were, which to me felt perfectly reasonable. Doesn't make much of a difference either way. But then, my own mother saw my ranking and was instantly outraged. We started arguing and shouting, and then my dad got on a video call with us, and then he saw my rankings and started arguing and shouting through the freaking phone. My mom ended up crying on the couch, and my sleep was ruined because we were arguing late into the night. It was just fucking horrible, yeah. I'm telling you this story because if you don't have a good relationship with your parents, if you get into arguments with them very often, it's actually your responsibility and kind of your fault. Why do you think I got into so many arguments with my parents, or why my dad used to beat me? It was because I was a massive prick to them. I mean, look at the situation from their perspective. They work shitty 9 to 5 jobs, shitty commute. They're forced to work with incompetent assholes on a daily basis. And when they come home from work, feeling tired as fuck, their freaking dickhead son doesn't even come to greet them, doesn't even bother to pour a glass of water for them, and doesn't even want to hang the clothes or do any of the chores. And to add insult to injury, their dickhead son says that, oh, he's too tired to do anything. They forced themselves through years of this shitty job for me, with their only motivation to keep going being okay, as long as I keep working, my son will be able to go to this good school and then he'll have a good life. And then I don't even end up choosing the schools they want me to go to. What the fuck, right? I would also be fucking furious if I were my parents. And you, be honest with yourself. You are kind of a prick to your parents, right? Let me ask you this question. When was the last time you hugged any of your parents? When was the last time you told them you were grateful for their hard work, for all the effort they put into raising you, taking care of you, providing for you, putting food on the table for you, working jobs that they hate, jobs that cause them like freaking headaches and chronic back pain or whatever and various illnesses in hopes that you will be able to live a better life. What I'm trying to say is you are really the only person who can do anything about this. If this has been going on for so long, you've been arguing with your parents for so long, they're not just gonna one day suddenly decide that, oh, they're gonna try to improve their relationship with you. You have to be the one to take charge and make the first move. If you want to know how, keep watching. Step 1. Gratitude journal about your parents. Basically, I want you right now, this is your actionable step right now, do this with me. Take out a pen or a paper or a notebook, you can use a like online document or whatever. And I want you to just write down all the things you are grateful for about both of your parents. If right now you're thinking, oh, but I have nothing to be grateful for, my parents were abusive, they only know how to argue and make me angry. Hey bro, I just want to ask you, are you okay with thinking like that? Are you okay with having a shit relationship with your parents? With literally having like a fight or flight panicky response to seeing the people who raised you and cared for you? Do you know how horrible that is for your mental health and productivity? Like, even if you somehow like didn't really care for your parents, which I'm sure you do, but let's say that if you didn't, you would still want to do this practice because it's going to improve your health and productivity, right? There are definitely things you can be grateful for about your parents. You just have to shut off that part of your brain that says otherwise and keep thinking. In fact, I'll do this practice with you so that maybe like you can get some inspiration from what I write. I am grateful for my father, for working so hard to move my family to Singapore because it's so much safer here and I get to I get to grow up and live in a safe environment with like quality education, one of the best education systems in the world apparently. I'm grateful for my mother for always finding the time to sorry, for always finding the time to make me a meal even if she's having a busy day. I'm grateful for my father for making the painful choice of working overseas so that he could support me and my mother. I'm grateful for my mother again for the freedom she gives me in my life to pursue the things I love, like YouTube. I'm grateful for my father for taking ridiculously long and like unreasonably uncomfortable commutes every single day to his work so that I can have a better life. You can pause this video right now if you need like more time to think and like write about what you can be grateful for. I'm also gonna have a water break. Got a freaking cold, which is why my voice is like that. Fuck. Now, gratitude journaling is quite a powerful healing practice, especially if you write things you are grateful for about people who you don't really like you don't really have good relationships with even people who have like bullied you, abused you, because there's some sort of like reframing of the situation and like a reprogramming of your neural circuits or whatever. I'm not an expert on this, so I have no idea. But after you wrote down those points of gratitude, you suddenly feel much better, right? So your actionable step right now is to make this into a daily habit. Every morning, just try to write 5 things you are grateful for about your parents or your family. Literally just 5 sentences. If it's a bad day and you don't really feel like journaling, then just write 1 point. 1 sentence. At the very least, just write something, yeah. Slowly, as you do this more and more, over time, you'll start to feel more appreciation and love for your parents. And it might even get to the point where you start to consider just saying the things you write down out loud to your parents. Which brings me to my next point. Step 2. Express your gratitude. Now that you've wrote down all these things you are grateful for about your parents and you've increased your level of appreciation for them, it's time to show it. So, your actionable step right now is to write a letter to them or send a text detailing everything you are grateful for about them. Or even better, you can just go up to them like face to face and just say out loud, I'm actually really grateful for you doing blank. And I'm really sorry if sometimes it seems like I don't appreciate you enough or that sometimes I upset you. And I assure you, they'll be fucking crying just from that. You have no idea how much they want to hear those words. Like I've said so many times, right? They've put in so much effort for you, and when you don't really tell them how grateful you are for them, there's this sense of like bitterness, which eventually leads to like arguments and shit. They, like every other human being, are starving for appreciation and praise. So do this actionable step right now, or as soon as you can. If there's a part of your brain that's coming out with excuses, that's starting to have doubts, just tell that part of your brain to shut up because it's not helping you. Overcome your fear, your anxiety, and just do it. Step 3. Have a habit of showing appreciation. After gratitude journaling and expressing your gratitude to your parents, your relationship will probably already have improved tremendously. So this is more to like maintain and further your relationship with your parents. It's very simple. Your actionable step right now is to just think of a certain habit you can do to show appreciation to your parents. It can be to hug them daily, or to pour them a glass of water when they come home from work, or to just do one more household chore that you know they usually do so that they don't have to do it anymore. And don't do it out of like, oh, I'm just trying to be nice. Do it out of genuine love and gratitude for them. Literally, when you're doing these habits, just repeat to yourself in your mind that you love them. And once you've thought of this habit, you can do it every day. You can do it at a certain time of the day, make it part of your routine. Or you can do it like whenever you find yourself having the free time to do it. And like, oh my god, wait. I swear, if you do like all 3 of the steps in this video, your parents are gonna be living their fucking dreams, bro. Like, they're not even gonna be able to believe that this is their reality now, that they have a child like you who's so grateful and kind. It will literally be a dream come true for them. And so I'm kind of like excited for you to do the actionable steps in this video. I hope you found this video helpful. Please give me any criticism and feedback in the comments. And I'm sorry for my horrible voice because I had a cold recently, and also I got this new phone which has a cooler camera. The video seems like more colorful and a bit weird, so you can tell me what you think of that too. And I wish you a good day.